The video game industry surged through the pandemic as Americans stayed home in front of their televisions, in front of their screens of all sizes. Well, Take-Two Interactive, Activision Blizzard, and Electronic Arts are all up more than 60% since mid-March of last year. But as things slowly return to normal, some investors worry gaming could cool off, and the stocks have reflected that some. Joining us right now with more of what he sees ahead for his industry is Strauss Zelnick. He's the chairman and CEO of Take-Two Interactive. And Strauss, it's always great to see you.
Thanks for having me. Nice to be back.
Nice to see you. So what do you think? You probably have a bigger universe of people who are into gaming these days as we went through the pandemic, but they're going to be spending probably a lot less time in front of their screens. What does that work out to? What does that mean?
We certainly have a bigger universe of players. Interactive entertainment is now the #1 entertainment vertical, which is amazing. The business is bigger than $160 billion annually in value. It's a massive business. And as we've said many times, we expected that post-pandemic levels of consumption would be greater than pre-pandemic levels, probably somewhat lower than during the pandemic, as you'd expect. That said, we've given our initial guidance for the fiscal year we're now in, and we expect to have net bookings of $3.2 to $3.3 billion, our second year of net bookings over $3 billion. So we certainly expect to have great performance.
You guys must dig down into these numbers pretty closely, just in terms of the average number of minutes users are spending with your games. What's happened over the last 6 months or so? How has that come down? What's the average time?
Well, in the last 6 months, demand has been very strong indeed. We did expect, and we're now in our first fiscal quarter, that we would see some moderation of demand. And we have seen some in the first quarter that's actually lower than our expectations, which is to say the results are stronger than our expectations. But we did expect to see some moderation in demand. Again, demand is much higher than it was pre-pandemic.
How are things going with NBA 2K, that league? I know it just started in the last couple of weeks. What have you seen? Because esports has been a huge growth area for lots of video game companies.
We're really excited to be in the 4th season. We have a great and exciting lineup of games to come. The season's in its 2nd week, I believe. And it's still a small business, as you know. In fact, esports in general is still a relatively small business. It's about $1 billion business. So it's a great area of development, an area we very much believe in, and we think that an esport that's based on an actual professional sport is incredibly well positioned for the future.
I know you did a deal this morning, $225 million for Nordeus, a mobile game company, a mobile game developer. What about mobile is important? How much time are people spending on mobile devices versus in-home?
Mobile is a huge business, rapidly growing. It also speaks to a different demographic than our historical business of making console and PC games. It tends to skew older. It tends to skew female. It is a meaningful and growing part of our business. The mobile market's about nearly $80 billion, so we do need to be represented. This is now our 3rd meaningful acquisition in the space, and Nordeus brings a great team, great leadership, and, of course, the world's most successful soccer manager title with 250 million registered users. The name of the game is Top 11, and they have more soccer titles in development. So we're thrilled to be getting into that business.
So I wouldn't imagine, you said that mobile users tend to skew female and older. I'm not sure that soccer would necessarily be their thing. What do you offer for women who are...
We have loads of games that appeal to women. I'd say Two Dots, which is a casual mobile title brought to you by the team at PlayDots, definitely skews more female and a bit older.
Strauss, in terms of competition, people are looking at the industry, and it's gotten incredibly huge. I think you're now looking at potentially a $200 billion market by the year 2023, and that's a big, big jump from where things are even right now. But there's also new competition that's coming in. Players like Netflix, who are going to be offering games, and they've already got 200 million subscribers, active subscribers. What do you do just in terms of competition? How do you protect yourself and try and defend your moat?
Well, the good news and the bad news about our business is that it's really, really hard to make a hit video game. It's incredibly difficult. And capital and subscribers can help a lot. It's always great to have an audience. It's certainly great to have the resources to make a game. But the talent is what ultimately wins. And our strategy has always been to be the most creative, the most innovative, and the most efficient company in the space. We have the highest hit ratio in the business. We have the best collection of owned intellectual property in the business. That means we have to get up every day and just make the highest quality entertainment in the business. It's really hard to do that. Some big companies have tried and not done so well. Some others have tried and done very well. So the entertainment business, we compete every day with everyone, no one, and ourselves. I'm worried about everyone who comes along, big or small. That just makes us double down on creativity.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.